broken. Don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul. I'll be there. Never leaving you in the darkness.
Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I am Maria, aka agapelovegirl. Thank you so much for joining me today. But today I'm back with a new Get the Look tutorial to share with you guys today. I'm also kind of sharing short-ish first impressions on a new palette that I purchased at IMATS from a brand called Rude Cosmetics. I did show this in my IMATS haul. If you haven't seen it and want to, I will link that in the eye. But I actually got two palettes from them, but the one I'm using today is this one called the Return of the Jet Eyeshadow palette. Super cute name, punny, love puns. I love how it looks like a storybook, and when you open it up they even have like chapters right here, and it's just a really cute palette. Now when I first saw this palette, and even I mentioned in my haul video, this palette is very reminiscent of the Jaclyn Hill palette. When you look at it, it's very similar. After kind of now that I have it and was really looking up close at it and looking at pictures of the Jaclyn Hill palette, it is pretty different. The color scheme is very similar, but it's not like a complete exact dupe or exactly same palette whatsoever. But the color scheme is very similar. So if you like those colors, you want to get something a little bit more affordable, I believe this one is like $21.50. I got it for $15 at IMATS because IMATS always has like sales and things like that. But anyways, I just want to say quickly before we get into I can never say that right. Before we get into the tutorial, which I will say a few things about the performance of the shadows and things like that, is that I think the quality of this palette it's not like the best thing ever. The mattes definitely have to be babied a little bit. They're a little bit more powdery, chalky, but not like bad chalky. I mean, look at this look I created. It's beautiful. I mean, you could definitely get pigmentation, but I feel like my habit, and I did mention this in the tutorial, is like when you swirl up a brush and there's powder that's kick up, you always tap off, or I always want to tap off the excess. It's like a habit we have. We tap off the excess because we don't want to go in with too much product. It's better to go in with a little less product and build it up than to like pack a punch and have to like really work to blend it out and fix it. But I feel like the mattes in this work better if you don't tap off the excess. Like leave the powder on the brush to really get the good pigmentation. But they do blend out beautifully. They do work well. They blend well together. I didn't have any trouble with that. But they do have a lot of kick up, and like I said, if you want the best pigmentation when you are putting it on, I wouldn't tap off the excess. I'd leave it on. I did keep, like out of habit, keep tapping off the excess, then go to apply, and I'm like, oh, I actually need to keep some of that excess on there to get a really good pigmentation. But on the flip side, the metallics in these palettes are like amazing. You don't need to really do anything special to them, no setting spray, nothing to get them to perform, and they just go on like amazingly. I used 3 different brushes for 3 different shimmery metallic shades from this palette, and all 3 applied the shadow like with so much pigmentation. It was insane. So they're really beautiful. So I think it's a really nice palette. Is it the best out there? Probably not, but is it a really good palette? I think so. I think it's a very nice palette. It's a very affordable palette. You get a lot of variety. You know, it is that 35 pan kind of a palette. I think the packaging is really cute. The packaging in general, if you watch my IMATS haul, I said this, the packaging is what really truly sold me on this palette. I just think it's adorable. I think Rude Cosmetics is a really cute brand, and I kind of really want to look into more of their products and try some more of their stuff, because I do think it's a really cute brand. I'm curious to see how some of their other products are, and I'm actually really interested to see how they grow. They're a very brand new brand. I believe it's just about a year old. So I'm curious to see how they grow as they expand and grow as a brand and things like that. So anyways, I just wanted to share that really quickly before I went into the tutorial. Gosh, I cannot talk. So yeah, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so this look is going to be very smoky. I'm going to be using the stamp crease today for this look, so I am going to be blowing this look and these shadows out pretty high up, probably a little bit higher than I normally would or do. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start off with this really cool toned kind of a light brown shade. I'm going to be using the Smith 232 brush and just going to be putting that into my crease and using it as my transition, kind of really smoking it out and blowing it up. blowing it up. That sounds so dramatic. These shadows do have quite a bit of kick up. They kind of can come off a little bit chalky at first. They didn't really work well with my concealer, my brow concealer that I normally use. So I did prime my eyes with the Tarte Shape Tape, and they work a lot better with that. And I know that sounded kind of negative, but these actually blend really beautifully and they look really nice in my opinion. And I'm really doing a lot of slow blending here because I don't want to pack too much of a punch just yet. I really want to bring that shadow up high, but I don't want it too intense high up, so I'm trying to leave most of the pigment at my kind of crease bone where like that socket bone is, and then slowly like diffusing that color up to almost close to like right at my brows, the bottom of my brow hairs, but just really soft and diffused out. Alright, next I'm going to be going into this kind of a slightly darker brown. It's a very cool tone brown, but it's like just a regular brown shade. And I'm going to be using the Smith 230 brush. I'm going to be placing that right into my crease and placing a lot of the pigment there, concentrated. And then I'm going to switch back and forth to the Smith 232 brush to blend it out. I'll probably be switching back and forth between these two brushes quite a bit in this tutorial. And as you can see, I'm really just kind of blending and concentrating that color on like right like directly in my crease. You kind of see it's going in between like my eye and like the socket bone area, and that's really where I'm trying to direct and focus most of the color, and then I will diffuse it out. Something else I will say about these shadows is because they are somewhat chalky. I'm just saying that. I said that earlier. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's like my natural inclination is to tap off the excess when I dip my brush in it because there is kick up. But I find I'd rather just leave the excess on my brush because when I tap it off, I don't get as much pigmentation as I do when I tap it off. I feel like it taps off too much. I just rather keep it on, and it really gives the best pigmentation that way. Okay, switching now to the Smith 232 to diffuse and blend. Now I'm going to go back with the Smith 230 brush and take that darker brown shade, even darker brown shade, right below the last shade I just used. And we're going to kind of do the same thing, except for I'm going to focus this color a little bit more on my lid, not just my crease. A little bit into my crease, but mostly onto my lid. I know this might seem like a ridiculously boring brown look, but we're going to do a fun pop of color on the lower lash line, and with the stamp crease, it'll pull together. It's going to look really pretty, I promise you. Alright, again back with that 232 brush for some more blending. Now I've kept this a really cool toned brown look because I'm going to be using a cool tone blue on my lower lash line, but I do want to pull in just a touch of warmth. So what I'm going to do is actually go in with this mustardy kind of shade with that Smith 232 brush, just a touch of it, and just lightly blend on the very top part of the blend by my brow bone, kind of. Really don't want too much of this color, but just enough to bring just a touch of warmth there. Alright, now while the mattes do require a little extra care to work with, I will say that the shimmers, the metallic-y shades in this palette are amazing and like a dream to work with. So easy to work with, so easy to apply, don't need to be babied, they go on so pigmented and amazing. So I'm going to go into this, I don't know how to describe it, it's kind of like just a creamy color. I'm going to be taking on the Sedona Lace EB09 and putting that on my brow bone. I'm going to try to do it very delicately because last time I put this on my brow bone, it was like bam, pigmentation. It was just a bit too much for me. Alright, and now for the fun part, the interesting part. I'm going to be using the stamp crease today, and I'm going to be using it with some Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I do already have a full video on the stamp crease. I'm actually filming it today. I'm kind of doing like both at the same time, but I will have a separate video if you haven't seen it. I encourage you to watch it, all about the stamp crease and really more in depth about how it works and my review on it and things like that. So if you want to learn a little bit more, check that out. I will have it linked. But right now I'm just going to kind of go through the motions. You're going to see it in action, and then we'll move on. All right, now that I've got my crease cut out, I'm gonna go in with this kind of another kind of shimmery shade. It's a beigey, cool beige color. And I'm just gonna be taking a very flat, kind of more precise brush. This is the Morphe 170-6 to apply. And again, as I said, these metallics just go on so easy. I've sprayed my brush or anything, and these just go on so beautifully. Okay, now I just feel like this cut crease needs a little buffer, needs a little something. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glitter to make this a glitter cut crease, and I'm just gonna do like glitter to line the spot where I did the cut of the crease. And for that I'm going to be using the NBA Cosmetics Bling It On Liquid Glitter, and I'm going to be using it with the BH Cosmetics number 7 brush. This came in like a brush set. I don't know if it's available individually, but anyways, it's just kind of like this bent liner brush. It's going to be very perfect for what I'm about to do. So I'm just gonna squeeze out a little bit of that glitter from the tube and then take a little bit on that brush and then start lining. Okay, dang it, I'm such a dork. I actually meant to do this before I put on the glitter liner, but I totally forgot. I wanted to add a little bit more of that darkest brown shade we used, or I always say we're doing this together, to get a more seamless like blend, so it's not just like a sharp or like a harsh line here. I want it to look a little bit more gradient, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna try to be as careful as I can. The glitter's pretty much dry already, but I still don't want to like mess up this look, so I'm just gonna go into that dark shade and very carefully with the Smith 230 do a little bit of blending to create a kind of gradient or ombre look with that shimmer shade on my lid. Also gonna sweep and blend that shadow out just a little bit, almost like kind of winging it out, but not quite. Just kind of blending it like I'm winging it out a little bit. Now, if you didn't think this look was fun enough yet, we're about to really amp up the fun here. I'm going to be going into the Aqua XL Makeup Forever eye pencil in the shade M22 and line my waterline with it. Alright, and now I'm going to be going into this really pretty intense like royal blue eyeshadow shade. I'm going to be applying it with the Morphe M506 brush, just really packing it on my lower lash line. Do you see how pigmented and intense these go on? Like, you don't even have to try. They're so good. Alright, here's what we have so far for the look. I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my face first, as I usually do. I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will put on my lashes as usual. I'm going to be using the Pure Cosmetics Bombshell lashes, my tried and true, my love lashes. And then you will see the completed look. Okay, I'm actually popping on really quick before my lashes just because I'm going to be putting some of this NBA Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Peach Glow in my inner corner. I'm going to be doing that with a pencil brush. I'm just going to lightly tap it in. This color is really pigmented as well. I'm just going to bring that to my inner corner. I do have this highlight all over the rest of my face, and it is a more warm tone highlight, but I think that brings like a nice contrast to this cooler toned blue look I'm wearing. Alright, now that we're done with the eyes, I'm going to go in with the Buxom Va-Va-Plump Shiny Liquid Lipstick in the shade Wine Me. This is very new to me. I just purchased it at Ulta recently. A couple other influencer friends of mine, Angela as well as Shaye, I'll have them linked below, have been raving about these, and I've been so curious to try them, so I had to pick one up. And they did not steer me wrong. These are amazing. I love the wand. The doe foot applicator of this is so nice for a very precise look. They're very glossy, but it's like as opaque as liquid lipstick. This color is so beautiful. Also has a nice cooling sensation, not a tingly one, so it's not uncomfortable, just a cooling sensation, and it feels so good on the lips. I believe it's also made with hyaluronic acid, which was another reason why it really intrigued me. So yeah, that's why I picked it up, and I just, I think I want to get more. This one at least is stunning, and the other shades I've seen are really gorgeous too, but I definitely am going to have to get more of these lippies because I'm really loving. Alright, so that wraps it up for this look and tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not, and hit the notification bell so you are notified anytime I make a video. I'm trying to get more on a regular schedule. I'm trying to upload Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Previously, I've never really been on a schedule, but for the past like month or maybe a little bit longer, I've been kind of doing that kind of accidentally, and I'm like, whoa, I'm kind of on a schedule here. So I'm pretty proud of myself. Anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes!